So I was in Carrefour, just at the cashier.
Yeah.
Right. And I was paying, and there was someone, like, some old guy here to my left with his friend. And he was looking at me, and he tells him in Arabic that beauty is wasted on these Asians.
No.
Yeah.
way.
What are you saying?
And I flipped.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Have a Nice Day podcast with your host, Janine.
And Joshua.
Today is a very special day.
Why is it special?
Because we have a different setup.
And
I feel like someone's with us.
who? We have someone else on the table. Would you kindly introduce who we have today?
Yes, we have the CEO of Egypino. We have Sarah with us.
Yeah.
Super excited to be on here. Thank you for having me.
Yes, our first guest, guys.
Our very first guest.
Joshua touched upon that the last episode. He said that it's going to be a special episode because we have a guest.
And for everyone else as well, I want you to just shoot your shot because we just slid into Sarah's DMs, and before you know it, she's come to our house.
We did. That's what we did, exactly.
So guys, shoot your shot, message those girls on DMs, and do what you want to do. Slide into it.
You make me sound so easy.
We're so happy. So basically, Sarah, she is half Filipino and half Egyptian. And we found her on TikTok, and I'm just trying. Okay, that's good. That's better. I'll just hold it. We found her on TikTok, and I found her on TikTok, and then I called Joshua, and I'm like, I sent him the video. I'm like, we need to interview this girl on the podcast, and now we have her as our first guest, guys.
Awesome.
See, just like what Joshua said, shoot your shot, and we have her here now. But before we go into the interview, I just wanted to talk about our happy news of the week.
Bling. Wait, Sarah has to do it with us. So when Janine says happy news of the week, we have to go bling because we're too cheap to afford a soundboard.
So we do it manually.
All the noises are here directly from our pipes.
Dear.
Exactly.
Okay.
See, she's on it. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Happy news of the week. Bling. Wow, that was great. So since we're all like half Filipinos here, I wanted to talk about happy news from the Philippines. So a lot of families or Filipinos in the Philippines within their each barangay. Barangay is like a small part of a town.
A town within a town.
A town within a town. So they've started their community pantries. So they're calling it community pantries because it's basically an open pantry. They put everything from like canned goods to eggs to fruits, rice, whatever they can, and provide them for free to people, which is really, really good. There was one thing that happened recently though, which wasn't there you go. Which wasn't the best scenario because I think one celebrity, I don't know if you guys know Angel Locsin.
Yeah.
So she's such a famous celebrity. She opened up her community pantry on her birthday. Unfortunately, a lot of people came in and a stampede happened.
Oh, wow.
But again, I mean, people just need to be a little bit more cautious of, the pandemic happening. You have to be careful. You have to probably just get your food and then leave. I mean, if that's even possible. It's I know it's tough times and a lot of people don't have means to get rice, food or whatever. But just be a little bit more careful. But the good news is they're giving it away for free. Especially for those people who don't have jobs.
I wonder what Angel Luxon puts in her community pantry. Like maybe high-end expensive stuff, you think?
She put up a video or a picture of it. It's mostly like the basics, right?
Not like gluten-free and
No,
keto
come
stuff.
on.
I don't know.
Come on. No. Just the normal stuff because like the ones that are easier to prepare because not a lot of people would have like their own stove and their own kitchen to prepare.
So like mostly like canned goods, rice, the basics at least.
Exactly. So it's good to see people helping one another, especially now during tough times. We're on our second year of the pandemic. Still not...
Part 2.
Yeah, still not slowing down, unfortunately. So it's good to see people taking their own time and their resources to help other people.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, speaking of helping other people, our first help today is having Sarah here.
I thought you were going to say we helped Sarah get a platform.
She helped us, by the way.
You're gonna make me famous, so it's
Yeah,
okay.
she's already famous. Like, she has a lot of followers on TikTok.
How many followers do you have on TikTok? Do you know?
Last I checked, it was 29,000. Yeah, it irritates me though. I need it to be an even number.
There you go, guys. Let's help her with a few followers that we have. Let's help her get to 30K on TikTok. You want to plug where they can find you or where they can stalk you
Well,
online?
you can stalk me at Sarah Egypino on Instagram, TikTok, Hi-Ho, what else? Facebook.
We were just talking about Hi-Ho. Do you want to introduce what Hi-Ho is?
Yes, so Hi-Ho is my new social media crush. And it is the most authentic social media platform that I have seen in a very long time.
Right.
So it's like Twitter, but instead of tweeting with words, you actually have video conversations with people from all around the world. And it's such a positive community, such a diverse community. And I think it's, I don't know, if you think of Zoom, Twitter, LinkedIn, Zoom, Twitter, LinkedIn, if you put all of those together, you kind of get Hi-Ho.
Yeah.
And the experience is just so different. It's lots of authentic people and just, I don't know, the vibes are different there. So yeah, I'm cheating on all of the other platforms with Hi-Ho.
Hi-Ho, guys. Hi-Ho. I think...
But you mentioned as well it was only on Apple. So guys, whoever have Android, sorry, you're left out.
You're not cool enough.
Exactly. Samsung, boo. iPhone, yay. 'Cause he has a Samsung. Joshua's on Samsung and he says that it's the best, but not. I mean, if Hi-Ho is not there, I don't know if I can consider that as the best one. So sorry.
So there are a lot of things that are not on Apple. Do you guys have like Netflix?
Yes. That's like the basic.
Sorry.
I just want to touch upon you saying that Hi-Ho is such like a positive community. Is that because like on TikTok, and this I find it myself, that there's a lot of haters on TikTok.
There is, and I think it's easier to become a hater on TikTok because you can just be user 123 100.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So you don't even need your real name to engage on TikTok. But also, I think it's kind of... So what I found weird on TikTok, because, you know, I study social media and I work with social media a lot, but something that I find really interesting is that TikTok's algorithm is kind of based on engagement. So the more people engage, they show the same kind of content to more people like them. And so if you have one hater, they're going to look at the same kind of content. So the algorithm doesn't really tell you what is a positive interaction or what is a negative interaction. It just attracts the same of the same.
Right. And I think that's what the haters don't know, is that they're actually helping you.
Yeah.
They're hating on you, like you keep on commenting, liking, or even responding to other people's comments, because then it gets like, becomes a battle zone of like people just commenting and hating one another, just like our first video on TikTok.
Our first video had a lot of backlash. Yeah.
You wanna tell her all about it?
I'll give you the cliff notes of what happened. So there was this Muhammad challenge. I don't know if you heard of it. Like Janine would ask me to keep repeating, saying Muhammad, 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 Muhammad.
Okay.
And at the end, she holds up this piece of paper that says ashamed.
Okay.
So when she pulled up this paper, and I'm like, she's like, read it out, and I'm like, ashamed.
Okay.
Because that's already ingrained in my mind, like that the last part of Muhammad is hid. Muhammad.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people were like, why are you making fun of our prophet like that and everything, which is not our intention as well. So
yeah,
mine was also stitched.
Oh my god.
With like saying you should not take our, but obviously I also know where they're coming from, but our intention wasn't like that at all.
Yeah, and it was like a challenge that was already ongoing. So I'm like, let me prank Joshua and try it on him. So I found it with someone else.
So it's your fault.
Exactly, it was my fault, and I put his face.
She's nowhere in that video.
It's just my name, it's my handle, but then it's his face.
Oh my
so
god.
When it was stitched, it was his face next to the stitch. But then there were also a lot of like positive comments, people like defending us, saying, come on, like they didn't even belittle, you know, the religious name, and it's not really that, but they're just making fun of, you know, the word ashamed. I guess it's just they feel like we're putting ashamed next to their next to the name of Muhammad, which is a holy
Yeah.
name. Yeah.
But that's what I like about TikTok, because
Yeah.
as much as there is negativity, you also have a lot of really supportive people that will just back you up.
That's true.
So
And people
you
are
get
not even your friends.
exactly.
Yeah, like strangers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there's good and bad.
Yeah.
Like, as everything actually, yeah. But
Yeah, maybe let's introduce yourself to our listeners so you're not a stranger to them.
Oh, yeah.
See what I did there? Maybe just tell us, like, where are you from? We know that you're also a Dubai, well, not technically a Dubai kid, an Abu Dhabi kid. So maybe we can start from there.
Yeah, so who am I? I'm Sarah Egypino.
Yes.
I've lived in Dubai for like 30 years now. So I came here when I was maybe 2-3 years old.
Right.
okay, so you're not born here.
No, I wasn't born here.
Where
I was
were you
born in
born?
Egypt.
Nice.
Oh,
In
okay.
Alexandria.
Wow.
Okay.
I love Egypt.
Do you? Have you
Yes.
been?
Yes.
Okay, nice. So yeah, I came here when I was around 2-3 years old. And when I first came, my parents lived in Dubai. But then we moved to Abu Dhabi, spent all of my school days there. Started out in an Indian school.
That must have been the worst.
It was scary. Like,
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I know people like who are not Indian who's grown up in Indian schools and they've all picked up that accent, the Indian accent. Like,
I'm
I'll see it-
surprised I didn't pick up any accent.
Right.
I'm really like
Yeah.
I don't think I have a Filipino accent. I don't think I have an Arabic accent.
No, you have a very neutral accent,
Yeah.
just like
Yeah, it is.
myself. Yeah, and Janine as well.
I'm like, really? Okay.
But yeah, so went to school there and then moved to Sharjah and then did a year in Sudan.
Wow.
I
That's
know.
interesting. Do you still remember details about it, or?
It was the best school year of my life.
Wow. Nice.
Because in Sudan, so I was in Khartoum. My dad was there opening a hotel.
Nice.
And that was my final year, so that was grade 12.
Okay, so you weren't super young, so you still remember details about it.
I
Yeah.
really remembered it. And I was just in a class that's full of like, it's similar to here, you know, you have so many different nationalities in your class. But it was so different because in Sudan you don't have a lot of things to do. So you don't have malls to go to or
Yeah.
cafes to chill at.
Right.
It's all about the community. So that bond that you create with people was so different to what you're used to here. Like here, you go out and you kind of need a distraction to do with your friends.
So true, so true.
Yeah. And you have to
There.
spend a lot of money.
That, well,
Yeah.
I don't know. I still find a lot of good
Free
cheap
things
spot.
to do.
Yeah. Have you been to the? I'm veering off topic, but have you
No.
been to those buffets in Karama for like 27 dirhams, 25 dirhams?
I went like to a hot pot or something, which I think was around the same price or any.
There's the other
the
place
Filipino
that we...
buffets though.
Yeah.
The Filipino
Yeah, yeah,
buffets. They're so good.
One of my
Filipino
one of my
food.
brother's friends owns one. I can't remember which one.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Let him invite us then.
Yeah, maybe you
For
should have
free.
him as your next host.
Exactly. See?
Free
She's already
food, yeah.
creating
She's gonna help
content
us with
for
our
us.
social media, and then my brother's friend is gonna help us with food.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sponsors.
But is it true that in Sudan there are more pyramids than there are in Egypt?
I don't know. I only learned about the pyramids in Sudan when a friend of mine did a vlog on the pyramids in Sudan. I had no idea that they had them.
That's so new to me. I don't even know that there are pyramids in Sudan.
And the Nile also passes through Sudan, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I'm learning things. Thank you,
Geography.
Josh.
Because I have a really good Sudanese friend as well, so he
Okay.
schooled me on these things.
Nice.
And you know, Sudan has the I don't know how to say this, but like the tallest people in the world.
What? Was
Yeah,
it like
like
the
the-
Dutch?
No. So it's the Sudanese who are like the tallest. The average height of every Sudanese is like more than like 5'10".
Wow.
Yeah, I've never met a short Sudanese guy as well, so I think that's.
I have. I
Oh,
went
yeah?
to school with some short Sudanese people.
Yeah, but you're in grade 12. They haven't fully grown up yet.
No, come on. How much
haven't
have
hit
you grown?
puberty.
I'm still growing because I feel I'm gonna reach 6 foot something.
Yeah, in
soon.
your dreams.
Yeah.
Okay, in your dreams.
Should we
Yeah.
tell him that it's not happening?
It's not gonna happen. Sorry, it's not gonna
I can't hear you. My earphones are off.
Yeah, I've pretty much been the same size and height since I was, I think, 14.
Yeah. Is it from your mom's side? Because my height's from my mom's side. My dad
Yeah.
is super tall.
Yeah,
I
so
didn't.
I got the
I
same.
wasn't blessed with those genes.
No,
Because
we,
my
We got the face though, right?
Exactly.
The skin.
Exactly.
The
Thank you,
youngness.
Mom. Thank you, Mom. I think like the Asian genes really helped us. We were just talking earlier about how old are you? How old are you? And we're both like complimenting each other, saying, "Oh, we don't look our age. Look at us, just lifting our own, our own benches."
Can we move on?
No, but it's true. Look, even you.
What?
I mean, you say that you have white hair, but your face, if you remove all of your like facial hair, you'd look a little bit more.
If I remove my facial hair, I would look like I'm still unborn. Like I'm so young. I would look very young. You seen me, without a beard?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's never seen me in person, but I showed her a picture and she's like, "Don't ever do
Who
this."
are you?
Even with the beard, you look really young.
Oh, yeah? Thank you.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
when I was watching your podcast, I thought you were in your early 20s.
Killing. We're killing.
You're gonna be a regular.
Yes. Can we have you next week again?
Done.
For all the compliments.
But
So-
you gotta get your friend to provide the
Yeah.
food.
Yeah.
So
The
actually,
spread.
sorry, we're gonna sidetrack again, but Janine and I were thinking of doing like a boodle fight episode and everything. So maybe we can
Done.
have.
See?
Yeah.
We already have our guest. We already have our boodle fight guest with us.
Yes. Okay. Done.
Many more episodes to come, guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you want to let us know, like, how did your parents meet? Like,
They have kind of a rom-com going on, but they met in Sharjah.
oh, okay.
I know.
No one.
I
meets
know. I know. I asked the same thing. But apparently, at that time, Sharjah was the it place to go.
Wow.
So they used to work in the same hotel, and they met there, and then moved around the UAE. Just stayed
So
here.
this is like 30 plus years ago, right?
Yeah, I think my dad spent 35 years in the UAE before going back to Egypt.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was
Wow,
here.
He's been here for a while. Just
Yeah.
But-
like our parents.
Yeah, that's because our parents also met around 30 plus years ago as well.
Yeah.
But it's so cool. Like, I didn't even know Sharjah had tourists like 35 years ago that there would be a hotel. So,
No,
So-
it was the it place. Like I remember they used to, like nobody would come to Dubai. People would go to Sharjah to hang out and party.
Sharjah, what happened?
oh no, but actually growing up, I remember actually going a lot to Sharjah. On the Dubai Sharjah Road, there are a lot of those restaurants like KFC, Pizza Hut. So a lot of us would go to
Restaurants.
yeah,
KFC.
fine dining restaurant
Yeah.
establishments
No,
like
but
KFC.
The Dubai
KFC is
Sharjah.
fine dining.
Yes, for him.
On one of our first dates, I took Janine to McDonald's. So
Yep. His fine dining. That was a fine dining
I
experience.
told you I'm cheap. I told you.
I appreciate that.
No, but that's
Cost cutting.
seriously, like I need to show her now because in the future I'm not gonna take you like Burj Khalifa or Burj Al Arab for dinner. Like this is the standard I'm setting right now, straight off the bat.
She's like, okay.
And I got her
No,
that
I
one dirham
appreciate
ice cream.
Yeah, you actually
I treat my
splurged.
woman well.
Yeah, with the Wonder ice. No, it wasn't the cone one. It was the
Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah,
So that's like what, 5 or 6?
4.
Look at you,
Wow.
spender.
no, but
But what happened to Sharjah, right?
no, because I'll tell you what happened to Sharjah. Sorry, we're moving away from our guest because I can speak a lot about Sharjah. But so your parents met there.
Yeah.
And then they got married here, or
No, actually, so they got married in Egypt.
okay,
Okay.
So they had a beautiful big wedding in Egypt. And
Nice.
my dad is from Aswan. So it's like they have Nubi music.
Okay.
I don't know, like just look it up.
Yeah.
But it's so much fun. We still watch their videos sometimes,
oh
actually.
really?
Yeah.
I've never seen my parents' wedding video.
It's my dad sang.
Oh,
they danced a lot. Yeah, it's so
Oh,
cute.
you have to share those videos to us.
Well, they're on those VHS things. So
Oh,
I still have a VHS player.
You do?
Yeah.
do you?
I still have a VCD player as well, I think.
VCD,
what?
I think, is fine.
Yeah.
Like the DVD
She's like,
player.
what is that?
What is a VCD?
So
player?
pre-DVD, there was this VCD. So movies used to come in like 2 of those CDs. So like the movie was like, insert VCD 2. Then you would remove the first VCD and put the second one in.
How did I not know this?
Yeah.
And then there would be, after that, they came out with the two VCD.
Yeah,
2
2
or
slots.
4, I
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
remember.
yeah.
But you put both so that it automatically plays the second
You
video.
don't have to remove it, take that time and
Yeah,
everything. Yeah.
Because who wants to stand up, remove the CD, and put it back in, right?
Yeah,
Put
I know.
the B, the side B.
Side B.
I don't know where I
Wow.
was when this was happening. I'm older than you. I need to know this.
You never had those like Chinese women knocking on your door and selling VCDs?
No, but they were like they were DVDs.
Oh, so
Yes.
pre that, I think.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I skipped a generation. I went from VHS to DVD.
Then straight to Blu-ray and then
All of the Gen Zs are watching right now and they're like, what are they talking
What is
about? What
Close
is
this
that?
podcast.
Yes. Especially if people from TikTok, from her side of Gen Z TikTok fans.
I don't think I have a lot of Gen Z audience.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think they're quite older.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably
That's
our
weird.
age.
or
Even older, actually, yeah.
Anyone over 35 shouldn't be on TikTok.
Hey.
Hey. Like, watch it. You know what? Just today, I was on TikTok and I saw a 56-year-old woman, or maybe even older, playing the drums. This is why I love TikTok. You know, these are just
Amazing.
like random people you would never hear or learn about. Because YouTube are more about like celebrities, or Instagram. You have these
Yeah.
Instagram models who their feed are so curated. But TikTok is just as it is.
Did you
know?
see the grandma on TikTok? She's like a mean, angry grandma.
Oh, I think
No.
I've seen that one.
I love her. She's so miserable.
Mm.
I love her.
There's one now, a Filipino grandma. who's like-
Really?
you're the one who sent me that, yeah?
Yes, yes, yes.
Filipino grandma who talks like she's a child or something. Like,
Oh
no,
my
that's so swaggy or
Yeah,
something.
she's like, this is busting.
Yeah, this is bussin'. And she eats a piece of fruit. I'm like, fruit cannot be bussin'.
I think it's because her grandson used to be, well, still is. He's a TikToker as well, but
Oh,
didn't
so
really
he-
get that famous. But whenever he featured his Lola or his grandma, like the video would just go viral. So they just
Amazing.
created her own TikTok account, and she has a lot of followers.
More
now.
than him?
I think so. Yeah, I went to his account and I'm just like,
Mm.
I think your Lola is a better TikToker than you are.
'Cause
When did you start TikTok? When did the whole
I
TikTok
think it
happen?
was mid last year. So
Yeah.
it was everything that I've done on TikTok was by accident. Like,
Okay.
I came on the platform to learn about the platform because for my job we gotta advise our clients on what platforms to be on and what you can do on each platform. But when you read about it, when you read about different platforms, it's completely different, right? Than when you actually know the experience
Mhm.
firsthand.
Right.
So I started on TikTok, just did random things, and suddenly I went viral.
She has a lot of videos, guys, that actually went viral. So she's not just talking about one video. There's a lot of videos. Yeah.
Yeah, but don't big it up like that.
do you remember which video got you viral?
Yeah, of course I do.
Which one was
It was
it?
like my moment of pride and fame.
Yes.
It was the video, and I was saying, what is an Egypino?
Right.
So I described it in the 3 languages that I speak. And I did not know it would get so much love.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the first one. And every video that I speak the 3 languages in, it just like hits the roof.
Because I think that's very fascinating. Like, learning to speak 2 languages is already hard enough, and being able to speak 3, being a polyglot, that's like really, really difficult. I don't think a lot of people, because not a lot of people are able to speak 3 languages.
Yeah.
Sometimes your head like thinks in English or Arabic, and then you speak another language, and sometimes you mush all 3 together, and then the person that you're talking to is just like, what are you talking about?
That's actually interesting.
Yeah.
What language are you guys thinking?
My English, my thinking language is English.
I think mine is English too.
So I noticed that mine changes.
Oh, okay.
So here it is English.
Right.
When I go to Egypt and I spend, more than 2 weeks, I start thinking in Arabic.
Nice.
And when I'm in the Philippines for again a long period, I start thinking in Tagalog.
Would you say that you're more fluent in speaking Arabic than Tagalog?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think because I use it more.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially being in a Middle East country.
Yeah, and also I think kind of work that I do,
Right.
I do use Arabic much more than Tagalog.
So you speak it in a business like setting as well. You speak Arabic. Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
I have to.
Yeah.
It surprises a lot of clients, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to get to that. Like, sorry. Are we good on time?
Yeah, it's still 24 minutes.
Sorry. Has there ever been a case where, like, you started speaking in Arabic to someone and they're like, oh crap, you actually know Arabic? or vice versa. It can even happen in Tagalog.
always.
Yeah.
At work, it does happen quite often, but because they see my name, so
Right.
they'll immediately assume that I'm either. Sometimes people think I'm Pakistani.
Oh, okay.
Because my last name is it can be both. It can
Right.
be Arab or Pakistani.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. But people at work, it's all right. people I meet out and about, they get really shocked.
Yeah.
So, like, especially like customer service people or waiters in different places, I would always start with English, and sometimes if I feel like they're not really getting me, I would switch to Arabic or Tagalog.
Yes.
And they're just like, what?
I'm sorry, what? Can you repeat what you just said?
It only happens
Exactly.
to like us as well. And when I start speaking Tagalog, which is the very rare case, they're like, "Ay, Filipino ka pala?" And I'm like, yeah.
And then he starts speaking in Tagalog and they're like, not really.
He's a fake. No, but have you ever heard anything negative though? Like when someone said something like, I can understand you, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It was, so I was in Carrefour, just at the cashier.
Yeah.
Right.
And I was paying, and there was someone, like, some old guy here to my left with his friend. And he was looking at me, and he tells him in Arabic that beauty is wasted on these Asians.
No.
Yeah.
way.
What are you saying?
And I flipped. I turned
Wait, so that's a
around.
compliment though.
No, it is
No.
not.
It's wasted on Asians.
So that means Asians are beautiful.
No.
No.
It means that I should be Arab to have this beauty.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So-
I looked at him and I'm like, excuse me? I'm like, did I hear you correctly in Arabic? And he was like, oh, okay, cool. So you are Arab. I'm like, no, I'm Filipino, but I speak Egyptian.
Oh my gosh.
Can you say it in Arabic? What did you
What?
say?
Roleplay.
In Arabic.
Yeah.
Okay, pretend-
You
pretend.
and both of you do it.
Pretend. No, you're the guy.
I'm the cashier. I'm just like, anything else? You want an extra gum? Or?
Imagine the cashier just in the middle of this whole thing happening.
Yeah.
It's just like,
I don't even remember the cashier.
Do you have a My Club card?
do you want to pay cash or credit?
Yeah, that was really bad. But yeah, I don't get that too. I mean, I used to get it a lot in clubs.
Right.
So, yeah, a lot of Arabs would be, saying something bad about Filipino people, and in clubs I tend to avoid any conflict because you don't know,
Yeah.
what can happen.
Right.
But yeah.
I think it's sad that there's that connotation with Filipinos.
Yeah.
There's always I don't know, maybe more from the women and then men trying to talk badly or looking down upon Filipino women. But I just don't know what it is. And it's sad because, being half Filipino for you, you're just like, why? Why keep it into just one race? I'm sure if there's something bad about Filipino women, it's also with other women as well. It's not just within one race.
Yeah.
But I guess being in this country where there are a lot of Filipinos and, not just Filipino men, but a lot of Filipino women, that's where it gets a little bit difficult. And up until now, there's still that stigma when you see a Filipino woman with a foreigner.
Mm-hmm.
There's always that look, even from the Filipino community, that people look at them and they're like, ooh, they always say ooh, nakabingwit si ate. That means good job to the Filipino lady because she got hold of a foreigner,
Yeah.
which is sad because my mom is a Filipino and she married a foreigner, not a Filipino, yours.
Yeah.
And I see that still a lot of people stare at us as a family when we go out.
No, I think it's always going to be there because there are a lot of expats as well who go to Philippines just for the sole purpose of
Right.
trying to Filipino, but then obviously we have to think outside the box and be more accepting, I guess, especially in the UAE.
Yeah.
Because there's one thing which also I realized here is, especially for women with an Indian, there's a very slim chance of them actually getting married because if an Indian guy, obviously he's gonna have an arranged marriage in the future, so they're just wasting each other's time, which everyone thinks. But I don't know if I picked it up correctly from everyone's opinion or anything like that. But saying that, did your parents ever have any conflict when your Filipino family said, why are you marrying an Egyptian or an Egyptian?
So my parents never really had that issue. When my mom first met my dad's family, it was super cute. They told me that she just, all of his sisters just took her in their arms and just gave her a big welcome.
That's so nice.
And I think it's because of the way that my dad spoke about her and how much he loved her and all of that. So that was fine. And same with the Filipino side. They were just, I think because of how tight they all were as a family, so it was just immediate. If she's okay with you, we're okay with you.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
Have you ever visited the Philippines as a family?
Yeah, we used
Yeah.
to go a lot. every 2. So we do 1 year in Egypt, 1 year in the Philippines.
Right.
Yeah.
Just
But
like-
you've
yeah.
never lived in the Philippines, right? Just
No.
mostly vacation.
Yeah.
Okay.
But long vacations, like 3 months.
Ooh, like school vacations.
Exactly. I miss those.
Those summer vacations were everything.
I
But you know,
know.
like growing up, it was also the same. So like 3 months in the Philippines, and then the next year I would take like maybe 1 to 2 months in India and everything like that. But I used to be I used to keep failing my classes. So I always, when I go back to Philippines, I would have all my books, and because I have to do a re-exam when I come back.
Oh my god.
So I would be studying and everything. So I could really never experience like vacations.
You'd have to do like summer school.
Not summer school, but re-exams. I never failed a grade, so I was always leveling
Yeah.
up. But I just had to always do re-exams, like 3 subjects at once,
Right.
and I have to get like pass. And then so that my mom was like, you know what, everyone's outside having fun, and you're inside the room studying.
Oh.
But I would just be playing video games on like a black and white TV. I'm like, I can't see the color of this.
And everyone's outside.
Everyone's outside. Everyone's having fun. So I never got to experience like the full happiness to some extent when I was back home. But it's good though. At least you traveled to both countries
Yeah,
as well.
extensively.
And so you would travel with your siblings, right? So you have an older brother
Yeah.
and
a younger one.
a younger
So-
brother as well. So
Yeah.
you're the only girl.
Only girl and
Okay.
middle child.
Welcome to the middle child group.
Podcast. We're gonna change our
Exactly.
name for this episode.
Yeah, but my older brother actually lived in the Philippines, so he went to
Wow.
college in the Philippines and all of that. My younger brother was here,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, they had me and my younger brother had pretty much the same kind of upbringing.
Right.
And my older brother was very Filipino.
Yeah, so
upbringing.
you would say that he speaks Tagalog fluently.
Yeah.
Nice.
Does he also speak Arabic?
No, he's my mum's son, so
Yeah.
from a former marriage.
Okay,
We're half
okay.
brothers, so he's like full on Filipino.
Full.
Okay, okay.
But is he
Yeah.
here now, or is he still in the
He
Philippines?
is, yeah.
Oh, nice.
All
Okay.
3 of us are all here.
Okay.
Yeah.
And your parents are in Egypt right now.
Now they are, but they're
Yeah.
here for a visit.
Nice.
Okay.
I'm keeping. I've decided because last year I couldn't see them. I was meant to. Yeah, this was really annoying. I was meant to go visit them in Egypt, and
Right.
then lockdown happened. Like, no, my tickets.
Yeah, yeah. And I heard that the cases in Egypt, I'm not sure now, but back then was like really high, right?
I honestly wasn't, looking at Egypt's cases because I don't know if they were as rigorous with their testing. And my parents live kind of far away from the city, so I wasn't
good.
so worried.
Right.
But yeah, I was gonna visit them and I couldn't, so I said, you know what? This year I'm just gonna bring them over here. It's easier. So
Yeah.
even if they get stuck here, it's fine.
Yeah, because that's true. It's much safer like being here
Absolutely.
than elsewhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sad to hear all of the cases like India right now.
Oh God.
Crazy. Can't even begin to think like the amount of people who are getting the virus. So to those who are saying that the virus is a hoax, I hope you don't believe that anymore because
There'll always be some naysayer who thinks that this is not real.
yeah. I don't know. And like, let's not get into like the anti-vaxxers.
Yeah,
and
I know.
people-
We can leave that for another.
3 of us are
Exactly.
vaccinated.
Yes,
Yeah, all 3 of
we're
us.
all vaccinated. Like, thank you to UAE because they really handled it well. Almost
Their vaccination drive was actually on point. Everyone is
Very
almost everyone
smooth.
now.
almost everyone very smooth, and the cases every day has significantly lowered down, which is a really good sign. Yeah. Well, we want to talk about food as well. Like, what would you say is your favorite food growing up? Egyptian and Filipino.
I can't choose between either, to be honest.
Yeah.
When it comes to food, I am just, I don't know, just anything that I can just eat.
Yeah.
I will love.
So you're not picky. You weren't like. Were you a picky
No,
child?
I was
No?
not. I
Good.
think because we didn't really have options growing up. So my mom would it's like,
You eat what's there, okay?
just eat what's available. There was never this question of what do you want to have for lunch.
Yes, that is so true. That's such an Asian upbringing, by the way. Like, even for myself, like, if there's food on the table, you have to eat it,
Yeah.
or else you can't leave the table. And sometimes I would cry because I hated vegetables when I was younger.
Oh.
And now I do. I love them. But when I was younger, when I see vegetables, I'm like, this is going to be a 2-hour dinner. I'm just going to be here trying to eat my vegetables, which I really hate. But that's good because then it teaches you to just consume whatever is
Yeah,
in front
like
of you.
those kind of questions came when my younger brother was growing up. So it was then because my parents started out like really roughing it out in the UAE,
right.
and then as they grew in their professional careers, they were able to ask the question, what do you want to have for lunch or what do you want to have for dinner? But that was around my brother's time. So I was never picky though. I don't think I ever pushed back any vegetables or things like that. I just ate whatever was given to me.
Wow. What a good child.
I know. But I was a horrible teen, so I balanced it out.
That's where you got back.
Yeah, so Janine was a good teen, but...
a horrible child.
No, but did your mom know how to cook like both Egyptian and Filipino food as well?
Oh, yes.
Oh,
yeah. So she learned. And now she cooks Egyptian food better than Egyptians. And
no way.
Does she speak Arabic as well now that she's living in Egypt?
She does, but in her cute little accent.
That's so cute. I love it.
So your parents have decided like, okay, Egypt is where we're going to spend our retirement.
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
So they retired, I think, 2 years ago now. Yeah, it's been 2 years.
How was it transitioning from living with your parents and now living on your own?
It was... So I lived on my own for quite a few years before they left the UAE. So that wasn't a big shift. The biggest shift was that I used to go to their house every Friday, right? So I used to go home every Friday. And suddenly that wasn't there anymore.
Yeah.
That was really sad.
Yeah.
So I did not like that. I didn't like, not being able to go see... They lived in Sharjah. I didn't like not being... Every Friday, I'd, look forward to whatever she was cooking, my mom. I'd look forward to my dad, just, catching up about work and life. And it was different. Yeah. So now, and I'm much busier now, so I don't even have time to, like, speak to them on Zoom or give them a call. Right. So it was a really hard period of adjustment, but I think we're okay now. Yeah. Would you say that your parents, because it seems like you're very close to your parents, were they strict when you were younger, like having an Arab dad? I hated them when I was young. Yeah. But yeah, they were very, very strict, but I think for a good reason. Like they obviously thought that was the best way to bring me up, and I turned out pretty okay. So I'm happy with that. Very successful in a very young age, being ahead of operations, right? From her company. Guys, this is the upbringing of strict parents. I have very strict parents too. Really? That was my dad more than my mom. My mom was like the cooler Filipino mom, but my dad was like, you have to be home at this time. And it was more of like no negotiations. If I say this is the way to go. Yeah. And that's how I was brought up. My sister was brought up, and my younger brother was brought up. My younger brother a little bit better because he's a boy. You know, he was able to have his sleepovers. He was able to hang out with friends. But then because I was a girl, no sleepovers, not allowed. So that's how I grew up. And I think, and I would like to think as well, that I grew up okay. I'm fine now. I think there just has to be a proper balance of the strictness and, having this cooler mom or like a person who would teach you how to be less uptight, I would say. My mom only became cooler when I was much older. Okay. So she was tight as well when you were young. Oh my goodness. Yeah. And especially because my first school was an Indian school, and they were really, really strict. Yes. And you had to, I remember they used to give us these, so we would, have cute questions and answers in a little notebook, and we'd have to write them down from the board. Right. And then we'd have to memorize that for the exam. And if you get one word wrong, it's a wooden ruler on your... Yeah. Schools back then. That's not allowed. And now that's not allowed anymore. Not allowed. But back then, that's true. No, it's not them that were beating me. It was my mom. Oh, okay. I was like, I thought it was in the school. No, she'd stay up with me till 3, 4 a.m. 2, 3 a.m. Just make sure that... Repeat. Oh. Go memorize this. Come back. Repeat. Oh, wow. But I think that helped a lot because now I grasp information so quickly. Yeah. I don't need to study things for a long time. I just need to hear it once and I'm cool. Yeah, you're like, whereas my mom would hit me with a stick, let me just memorize it now. She's preconditioned me. PTSD, oh my god. You look around like, is my mom here? Is she here? Do I need to memorize this? For me, it was completely different. Growing up, I was my parents, I wouldn't say were not strict, but they gave me my freedom as well. So I had a lot of times where I was like, okay, I could come out late or go out late and come home late. Partay. But I think it's maybe because of the Arabs as well. I don't know. Yeah. But for me, it was relatively easy to grow up. I didn't have any problems. So just my dad and mom would just be behind me for studying. That's it. And because you're a boy. Yeah. That too. Yeah. 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 Is it different with your sister?
Sister, yeah, I could say so.
See?
Yeah, like she was only able to travel like few years ago by herself.
Yeah.
But for my brother and I, we're like completely fine. Like, go do what you have to do, but
Just let
just
you off.
study. Yeah,
Yeah.
like the moment I turned 18 as well, my dad's like, go get your driving license. I'm like, cool.
Men, I
Yeah.
must say.
Yeah, but my mom was stricter than my dad though.
Really?
Yeah. She was she one who wore their pants in the family for sure. Like she would make all the rules.
Does your dad know that?
Yeah.
They watch the podcast,
He's
by
very
the
cool.
way.
He's very cool. Like my dad would like hand the slipper to my mom, and then my mom would be the one hitting me.
Be like,
If
come here,
anything.
boy.
I was just very Martha, like very, what's the English word for Martha?
Picky?
Picky when
Yeah.
it came to having medicine. I hated medicine growing up.
Oh, okay.
So my mom would like literally choke me and pour syrup down my mouth, and I
Have
would
you?
puke.
Wait. Have you guys had the ampalaya down your throat?
Oh
Like-
my gosh, yeah. Because you know what ampalaya
The
is?
bitter vegetable,
bitter
bitter
gourd.
gourd. I
Yeah.
hate it.
Oh my god.
But does your mom like force feed you? Like if you don't finish your food, do you have to eat it?
No.
Yeah, well we do. So
No, it wasn't that. It's if we were sick, she would make us drink ampalaya juice. Raw ampalaya juice, so that you throw up whatever's inside you. That's
Oh,
sick.
okay. So wait, yeah, okay.
That wasn't.
Oh,
That wasn't.
wow.
fun.
Is that a thing? I've never heard of that.
I don't know, but she made it a thing.
Now they know that there can be a thing. If you want your children to puke out the phlegm or whatever's in
Yeah.
them, then just like give them bitter gourd.
Usually
My-
it was just Vicks in our house. Vicks
Oh,
for
Vicks.
everything.
Oh,
yeah.
Vicks, yeah, Vicks is like staple.
I like that we both we
My
all
mom would
aligned.
pour Vicks in my mouth.
I remember my mom would like put hot water on like in a bowl, and then
Oh,
she would just
yeah.
put Vicks, and we would all put like a blanket over our heads.
Yeah.
We would all inhale it, and I was claustrophobic. I still am claustrophobic, and I hated it so much. Like, I
Really?
can't breathe. I have to get out. And I don't think my mom understood what being claustrophobic is when I was younger. She's just like, stay here, inhale the steam. And I was getting like a panic attack. And
Oh
I'm like,
my
Mom, I
God.
can't take it anymore. Now she understands. Like, thank you, Google. And, you know,
Thank you, Facebook.
exactly being more aware about these.
Do your parents also trust Dr. Facebook?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
really bad, isn't it?
Yeah. You know, these pictures of like, you have to, especially when COVID was like, it just came out. And my mom would be like, you always have to drink like hot water, put lemon in, and put all of these
Yeah.
like weird ingredients in. And she would send it. And I'm like, Mom, I think it's only true for like a part of it, but it will not cure COVID. Because I think COVID is a virus, and only
Yeah.
like we haven't even learned about the cure of COVID. But I don't know if your mom's the same. Like she would just forward you like these chain messages, pictures.
For me, it was not about like herbal medicines and everything. For me, it was like, because I'm a very lazy guy. So my mom would always send me videos like of people like who are amputees, like without legs, and they're like they're
my
drawing
God.
with their mouth, and then like, look at this video, Josh. He has no legs and arms, but he drew this artist, and you have all your hands and your feet, and you cannot do anything in the house.
So your mom's telling you to do something about your life, basically.
Yeah, she's like, look at all these people
Some
who are
emotional
so
blackmail.
exactly, like look at these less fortunate people doing so much with their lives, Josh, and you're here at home playing video games.
What are you doing? Why are you being a bum?
Seriously, that was all there. Like, but Facebook is the worst though. And my dad also sends all those good morning messages with like a gif of butterflies. I'm like,
That's so cute.
how do you block your father on WhatsApp?
It is cute. Our parents are trying to be digital savvy, but like sometimes it's just they don't get what's happening. Like my dad, I think when Facebook was new, he was just like looking at his phone and it's like, how do you do this? And they always look at the phones like
Yes.
far away. Like, can you show me? I love our parents, man. They're the best.
They are.
I really, to be honest, I really like being in like two cultures. Like for me, it's like getting the best out of both, like two worlds. Because some people are not as, I would say, not as fortunate as we are, because we are more how do I say it, exposed to different cultures, and also living
Yeah.
in the UAE. That's another culture that we're learning. Compared to others who live in the same country with the same, same nationality parents, they're not as diverse as we are. So I'm really, really thankful for that.
I don't know if you felt the same as me, but like growing up, I never understood the importance of being half. Like for me, it was just like, okay, But then like a lot of people like, I wouldn't say like they look up to you, you admire them because you're like two different nationalities, and they have a whole series of questions that they ask, like, oh, are your parents still together? Or like, which food do you like better? Which country do you like better? Are you more Filipino? Are you more Egyptian? So it opens up a lot of like room to make small talk as well.
It is, especially here. That's why you don't feel it. But when I remember when I went to the States, and when I went to, where was it? I think it was mostly in the States. When people ask me, where are you from? And I tell them I'm half here, they're like, oh, okay, what is it like? I'm like, just normal. Like, what do you mean?
Right, not a lot of people would get that like upbringing as we have, so they're very interested in knowing. And I think that's why you're really famous on TikTok, because people are like, oh my gosh, she's half Filipino, half Egyptian, and she speaks Arabic and Tagalog and English. Like, there's a lot of things. And we actually saw that you sing as well. It seems like one of your TikTok videos you were singing. Is there any other hidden talent that you have?
Yeah, so my talents are a little bit weird because I kind of learned how to do something, but like not enough to master it.
Right.
So with talent, I'm a little bit a jack of all trades and definitely a master of none.
Yeah.
So I can do a little bit of piano.
Wow.
I can do a little bit of guitar, a little bit of Latin ballroom, and
What?
yeah.
Wow. Dancing, singing, music.
Yeah. I can't draw to save my life.
Okay.
But yeah, that's something maybe one day I might try.
And then, of course, creating content. That's like another talent of yours.
Yeah. I think TikTok was just, I don't know, like a creative outlet to be myself.
Right.
Kind of.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm not scared to be lame on TikTok because it's fine. I only started getting weirded out when I started seeing my professional network on TikTok. I'm like, no, don't see the side of me.
Yeah, I think that's difficult.
Because even at work, that video of the Muhammad video went viral for us.
Oh, wow.
It's like almost 100,000.
Yeah, like 120,000.
Yeah, and it got into my work circle as well. And we have a work WhatsApp group, and like, look at Joshua, and he sends this, and everyone's like, whoa. I'm like, oh man.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's weird when work people are like involved.
Yeah, so my boss's son found me on TikTok, or my boss's kids.
Oh my gosh.
They're like, Baba, isn't this the girl that works with you?
That is so funny. So he saw some of your viral TikToks.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah,
he's pretty chill.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay.
Yeah,
no, my clients did. Yeah, so they're all Thai, these clients, and we were sitting at a Thai restaurant just having a business lunch.
Right.
And their director looks at me and he says, "So, we've seen your TikToks." I'm like, "Oh God!"
Like the first thing they say, "We've seen your TikToks."
Like,
I'll
no.
have the pad Thai, and I've seen your TikToks.
But yeah, luckily they already knew who I was, so it's fine that they see that side of
it.
It
wasn't like the first business meeting.
No.
Okay,
no,
good.
no.
So you've established your professional side already.
I have, but actually after TikTok, I'm trying to do more content that is not funny, like more serious content.
Oh,
like I need to balance it out.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe on Hi-Ho.
Well, on Hi-Ho, it's still the same though. Like
Yeah.
I'm trying to find what is my authentic brand online.
Right.
Because I don't want to be one of these people that is just, I don't know, like one version. I want to be everything. So I am the lame person that does dad jokes. I am the, I don't know, person who speaks like, I don't know, Confucius and Socrates. And like, I like everything.
Right.
And I want to be able to be that person online if I'm going to be the brand.
Right.
So yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how to balance all of this, but I definitely need more professional content.
Yeah, to show to your professional, especially when your professional side needs you to present yourself to other people, because sometimes you can work at an office but you don't really have to have connections with people outside of your work, but from the nature of your work you meet a lot of people and you pitch to clients as well.
Exactly.
So I think that's a difficult side of it, like them seeing you on a TikTok
I think
version.
they find it, because all of our clients, they've known me for quite a while now, so they're okay. And then when they do see me on TikTok, it'll be, oh wow, she has this side too.
Yeah.
So it's fine. But I think for new clients, or if I was ever to, I don't know, speak on any other platform, Like when I go and pitch myself to these conferences and all that, it's like, oh, okay, what do I have to show you? My TikToks.
Here you go. I can talk.
Exactly.
And then you can show them the podcast. And then let them know that you can also.
You can do everything.
I can do it all.
Yeah.
Jack of all trades.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, I think people who are able to become a chameleon and do a lot of things are the most interesting people, because you can relate to basically anyone. Like you speak to someone and there would be one point that you have in common.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's easier to hit it off socially when you connect with someone on like a personal note rather than just being all business and all professional.
Because I can relate to that as well a lot, because even if I'm like a jack of all trades but master of none, I can play like 5 instruments but like very little amount of each instrument. I've tried my hand in almost everything, and but I get bored very easily.
Same. So I mean, before it was actually worse, because the moment something would be a little bit too difficult, I'm like, why? Screw it.
So
Next.
true. So true.
Right. Yeah.
Do you have ADHD or something, or ADD?
No, I actually have something called borderline personality disorder.
Okay.
So it's like it kind of makes you a little bit more impulsive, and you're always like either or. So you're either really in love with something or really hate it. So it takes you have to master how
to manage your emotions and everything.
Yeah.
So it means you're very passionate about things. When you start something, it means you really like it.
Yeah, but it's a little bit difficult because some of them are imagined feelings. So you kind of have to rationalize your feelings as you go, which is obviously difficult, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I've learned how to manage that.
Yeah, I think being self-aware is not an innate thing. There are a lot of people who are not really aware of how they act, how they speak, and how other people feel around them. And I think that's a really good character to have, especially if your emotions are a little bit high and low. You also need to be self-aware of your own feelings. That's difficult.
It is. I mean, getting to know who you are is already as difficult. There's so many people that I meet who are our age. They still don't really know who they are and what triggers them and what motivates them and what makes them happy. And they're still trying to figure out that identity.
Yeah.
So the fact that I'm able to have this awareness this early on is something I'm really grateful for.
Yeah. I think that's true. Like a lot of people, or even myself, when I was younger, I thought that when I hit 30s or when I'm close to hitting my 30s, to be like, I got it figured out, I'll understand everything. I'll be professional. I'll learn how to like have a family. But no, not really. Being in your 30s or close to your 30s, I think everyone is just figuring things out as they go. And you'll never have that point in your life where you're like, I'm done. I got everything. I learned everything, because has to be like a continuous thing.
No, and I think like with the recent times as well, especially COVID, like everything has shifted. So like what you wanted to be when you were 30, like I turned 30 this year, so like everything that I thought I was going to be at 30 is like completely different. And I was like at a panic attack, Janine, like, oh, I'm turning 30, I haven't done anything. And just recently, like this is the first time I'm saying this on the podcast, but even I've been diagnosed with ADHD.
Oh wow.
And Janine always helps me a lot when it comes to things, because there's one day I will watch like Fast and the Furious movie, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be a straight racer. Then I watch a movie with like con men's and everything. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna steal something from a museum. I was watching Money Heist. I don't know if you watch Money Heist. And I'm like, I'm gonna rob the UAE.
No UAE, no robbing happening here.
I don't know him. I just met him.
We're not associated.
No, but it's like that. Then I realized like everything in my life is stemmed from me having ADHD, which is unfortunately which I caught on really late in life. I mean, I understood that I had it really late in life, but looking back, I can see, oh crap, everything that have been happening to me in high school and throughout my like my professional career, throughout my all my hobbies and everything is all like an impulse, and I get bored easily. And whenever something that's very interesting strikes me at first, I'm like, okay, I need to be like this. Like I've been watching a lot of video games online, and I'm like, okay, and then I bought a gaming laptop and I bought a gaming mouse, and I've invested.
You all in.
And I went all in, and I'm just like, and then I barely play. And just recently I started playing again. But my mom just uses that laptop to watch Korean novellas.
Mine too.
It's like a retirement thing. Like you hit 60, you just watch Korean shows. And
That's the only reason she has Netflix. My Netflix account.
when you enter into your Netflix account, your recommended videos are all about
No. I've created separate profiles. Absolutely no way are you interfering with my watching experience.
That is so true. Like his mom is very obsessed with Korean novellas.
Korean.
As well.
But why? What is it with Filipino moms and
Yeah.
Korean telenovelas?
My best friend's mom is super obsessed with that, with all of the Korean novellas as well, and they know what's happening with those actors, not just from the movie, but also their real lives.
So the other day I was watching, I was wearing an Under Armour shirt at home. Like, because I bought a set of Under Armour clothes, which are also pajamas.
Okay.
So I'm just walking around at home, it's like, why are you wearing that? You know, my favorite actor, Yoon Bun Kim, is also the spokesperson and model for Under Armour. You shouldn't wear Under Armour at home. You should only wear it at the gym. You should see how fit he is. And I'm like, Mom. She literally knows, you know, he bought his mom her own house and he roasts his own coffee. And I'm like,
Wow.
She knows everything.
How
And
do
she's
you
like,
know these details, Tita?
and her and her sister as well, they send each other, like they tag each other Instagram posts, like, look at him, he's on the red carpet today, he just won this award. Like, my mom knows their lives inside and
Oh
out.
my god, they should have their own like entertainment.
Yeah,
Kind
or
of
maybe
call
they should
them-
have their own
They
podcast.
should. That should be
Imagine
amazing.
Filipino titas talking about K-drama.
There's another thing which they all have in common is as well, they all play like weird games on on their phones, which no one ever plays.
I don't think my mom plays any games.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
My mom
mom's-
plays all these word games,
My
Plants
mom
versus
too.
Zombies,
That's my dad.
everything. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My dad, and me too. Actually, I think I have like 12 games on my phone.
Like, what are your go-to games?
Candy Crush,
Like
Candy
those
Crush Saga.
Have you
puzzle.
paid for Candy Crush or no?
Paid? No, I've not paid for any of those.
Okay.
I
Okay.
told you right earlier. I'm very stingy.
Ah.
I don't pay for games.
Right.
I pay for books and things like that, but not games, not gaming apps.
Even I don't pay for books. I download all my books online.
Okay,
So I'm like
tell
next level
everyone.
stingy.
Tell everyone. This is how he
Me and
does.
you need to have a conversation.
No, I'll tell you something.
Do you understand how much time and effort goes into writing these books?
That's where I was going to. So I bought books after I read them on my Kindle, and I'm like, okay, this is really good. The author deserves some credit, and that's when I give them my money. But I need to first scan and see if this.
There's an app called Blinkist where you get the summary of the books, right?
Yeah. Have you
Get
tried
that.
it?
I love it.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Because
I really love
I
it.
was very skeptical because I have Audible. So I'm skeptical about these like 15-minute fast track books.
Summaries of the book.
Summaries. I don't know if it actually takes the whole, like the gist of the...
It does, but it makes... So instead of reading reviews about a book, I
Right.
would check the Blinkist, and then
Nice.
I would decide if I want to buy the full version.
Blinkist.
Yeah,
I'll
because
write it
that's
down.
like 15 minutes of your time, right? Just listening to...
Yeah, or you can read it as well. So you can
Ah.
have an audio or you can read. I
Okay.
prefer to read.
Is it a paid app?
It is, yeah. I
Oh
think
no,
you pay
then it's
like...
out. Money.
Someone's more stingy than you.
Jeez. Nice to meet you.
Jeez, bro. Come on, treat me to more than McDonald's. Maybe a nicer restaurant next time.
Yeah. Okay.
Speaking of dating,
Oh dear.
how's your dating life, if you don't mind us asking? Like, and how is it dating in the UAE is... I have no words, but we'll leave that to you.
Well, it is not easy because I am very much a workaholic.
Right.
So I have been a workaholic for a really long time because I always just wanted to, like we were talking about this competitive nature, right? So I've always been really competitive in my career, and I always wanted to like reach a certain, job by 25, or I wanted to have my own business at 25.
Right.
That failed, but I always had these like professional goals, and my industry, marketing communications, is so time consuming. So
It is.
I don't really have time, or I wouldn't really make time for dating
Right.
or even friendships.
Wow.
So it's really difficult for me to maintain any kind of personal relationship that's not related to work.
Yeah.
And what I found funny was that even when I was trying to, date recently, I just made them into professional connections.
That's the next level friend zone, man. I don't like you as a friend, but you could be someone I can work with, I guess.
Seriously.
How do you go from dating to professional?
Well, because I don't know, like I would meet someone who is, I don't know, like really successful in their career. And I'm
Right.
like, wait, but I can take your business.
Yes, that's true. Can you just hand me over your business card and we'll talk business?
Pretty much. So yeah, I work zone people.
That is new. That is new to me. You don't friend zone, you work zone. But at least you kept them in your professional circle.
At least kept them in a circle. Like, at least.
Yeah, no, but I mean, eventually it dies off. So if you don't sign on the contract, then I have to. I'm sorry if you're listening to me.
If you don't give me business, then I'm not gonna be your business friend. What do you call it? Not even a friend.
Associate?
Yeah. I'm not gonna be
Not
associated to you at all. That's what she means.
Acquaintance,
There we go.
yeah.
An acquaintance.
But have you dated both Filipinos and Egyptians?
No, Egyptians, yes. Oh, actually, yeah, both.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, not really. It wasn't. It was like, you know,
Yeah.
puppy love kind
Puppy
of stuff.
love.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I used to be married. Actually, I had a British boyfriend.
Okay.
Sorry, British husband.
Right.
And that was interesting because the cultures are completely different.
Yeah.
But after that marriage, I was more in touch with my Filipino and Arab side.
Right.
So that was very, 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 I think, it was an awakening moment for me. Like how much of the culture that I actually kept
Yeah.
and how much I actually valued.
Right.
It was a very big learning experience.
But that's interesting because then you also like your eyes get opened up to another culture as well, like letting in someone from Europe. Like,
yeah,
from the
because
UK,
I thought it would be okay because I was very much independent. So I'm like, okay, this individualistic culture of,
Right.
the UK would be better. Like they're not so family. They are family oriented, but it's not the same as us.
Oh yeah,
You know, we know our great grand titas.
that's true.
Yeah.
I think Asian culture is way, way, way more family oriented than anyone
Exactly.
else. Yeah.
And same with Egyptian culture as well.
Right.
So I don't just know my dad's immediate family, also their extended family and so it's it was very different. And I think from there you have a lot of differences from, just the way you interact with your family and just simple things.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that I learned about myself
Right.
being in an interracial marriage.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Because now you get to be more aware of who you are and what you want.
Yeah, exactly. And also, I think, it's a little bit sad to say, but at that point, there was still a lot of, I wasn't so proud of my heritage. I wasn't so
Right.
proud of my culture. And I always used to think, this European kind of culture is way more superior. So I kind of shut that aside a little bit and I got lost in that.
Yeah.
But when you start seeing less of it, so when I started seeing less of my Filipino or experiencing less of the Filipino and Egyptian culture, because
Yeah.
I'm not at home anymore,
Right.
it was eye-opening. And then I started to accept and love and promote
Right.
both sides of me equally.
Yeah.
That's so good, actually. That's really good.
I think
Yeah.
from such a young age, we're already fed these subliminal messages of like white is better, like
And the West is king,
West is
all that. Yeah.
Even in the Philippines, right? White skin, prettier. You're from the U.S. You're like God. You're a god, And if you're married to a foreigner who is white, then you're like, oh my gosh, wow, look at you. But it's not always the case, And that's good because the more that you deviated for a moment from that side of your culture, like it gave you an understanding that actually my culture is one of the best, or if not the
Exactly.
best. Yeah.
Yeah.
For the best for you as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was really I want to say life-turning moment there.
Yeah.
Because really, there was a lot of, even in the groups that I would hang out with, the people that I would befriend, it wasn't that I was ashamed of my culture, but I wasn't so out and proud about it.
Right.
And now it's like, nope, I'm Egypino.
Oh, that's nice.
And I spoke about this in another podcast when we did this Hello Mamster Show podcast. And the same thing was with me growing up, but more towards my Indian side.
Really?
Yeah. Like for me, I'm like zero Indian. But not just recently, not recently, maybe like in the last 5-6 years, that's when I actually started exploring my Indian side a bit more. And like growing up, I was just like, oh, Indian, like everyone around me is Indian. There's nothing unique about me, but I have this unique Filipino thing because I look like this, but I know Tagalog. I know everything about the Filipino culture. So that was like my like shining light, I guess. But like my Indian side, I was like keeping it very down low. There's a lot of stigmas about Indians, like smelling bad and all these kinds of things. And it's an overpopulated country. So for me, I was never in touch with my Indian side. But recently, that's when I said like, I felt that growing up, I should be so proud of being from two different nationalities. Like, people would be killing to be in my shoes, especially like in Philippines, where every big celebrity is half something and half Filipino.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
Every single one. Okay, not every single one, but like 99.99%.
Majority.
Did you guys ever want to be one of these halfie
Artistas?
artistas?
Oh, me for sure.
Me too.
I have a girl. Yeah, really? Yeah. So my cousin works in GMA.
Okay, so how can we get to your cousin?
She used to work there, but because of her, I've met like I've shook Richard Gutierrez's hand. I've met Angel Locsin, Rian Ramos.
His ultimate crush.
My ultimate
What about
crush.
Piolo Pascual?
No, I don't know
Damn
who that.
it.
Is
How
that
do
this?
you
Is
not
that
know
your
Piolo Pascual?
crush as well, Piolo Pascual?
No, it's Jericho Rosales. Yeah.
But my cousin used to be, and I've gone on stage with a few Filipino celebrities because she's so well connected. She knows lots of people, and I'm just like, maybe if I, because they love seeing when a foreigner speaks Tagalog. So and she would always be there at the Eat Bulaga tapings, and she's like, "You want to get on stage?" And I'm like, "Huh?" Yeah, so I've always wanted. Then I started looking at the new age half Filipinos. I don't know if you know like YouTubers like Will Dasovich or Erwan Usaf and
Solen and Curtis.
They're all
Curtis, yeah.
So they're all vloggers and everything. So that's my ultimate goal. Like, be someone who's my name is at least well known in the elite circles of the Philippines, you know. But I'm still striving for that. I hope this podcast gives us a platform
It'll get there. It'll get there.
Yeah.
We're all gonna be super famous halfies one day.
Ooh.
I would love to.
I don't know. I'm not sure if I want to be famous. When I was younger, and we would always visit the Philippines, my lola would always want me to join these Little Miss pageants on GMA.
Oh my god!
And she's like, I need you to be there. You're gonna win it. You're gonna be cute. You're gonna be an artista. And all the time, every time she'd be like, I want you to be an artista. And I'm like, I don't want to be an artista. But my sister, she loved it so much. She was like so where we lived is called Olongapo. She was like the Miss Olongapo.
Wow.
And she would join these pageants. And at one point, she was also on TV with, what is his name? Willie Revillame? Like Wawawi? Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Back then. So they used to have these like pageants, and she entered one of those as well, and she wanted to be in PBB, so she really wanted to be an artista for a while. And then like we all came back here, and she's like, you know what, I'm just gonna be a regular person. I think after living like almost the life of an artista, always being out and about and hanging out with these people, she's like,
it's not for me.
Yeah, it's not for her. Yeah,
I still want to give it a try though.
Yeah.
The thing is, there's no going back, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's gonna be difficult to lay low after.
It is, yeah. Like,
famous.
I wouldn't want to be an artista like creatively. I think I'd want to be more known for work-wise.
Yeah,
like
a professional side instead of like being artista.
Yeah.
I think he wants to be an artista.
Because I do comedy. I do stand-up comedy, so I'm always thinking I should be like the next Jokoy or the next something like that. So I don't know. It's been a dream of mine to, like, at least when I walk in, she's like, hey, can we take a picture with you? I'm like, not right now. Let me finish my McDonald's.
I like the popularity of stand-up comedians, because you're popular within your niche.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So like Jokoy can be walking here and very few people will know him.
Very
it's
true,
people
very true.
just who watch his shows.
Yeah.
That's
right.
it.
More Filipinos
That's okay.
would know him, but like if he goes to like Dubai Mall and like all Arabs and Indians, and I'm like, okay, just a regular bald Filipino guy.
Yeah. Compared to, like, for example, Brad Pitt, like everyone would know him. He walks into a room and you're like, oh my gosh, that's Brad Pitt. I don't think he'll be able to walk around Dubai Mall.
No, I'll protect him.
Oh.
I really love Brad Pitt. I love Brad Pitt.
He loves Brad Pitt so much.
Everyone says I look like him, so I'm just like, I've taken that to my heart.
I think this is where we'll end the podcast because it's just getting ridiculous now.
No, or how about we just mute his mic?
I know. Good
I'm
idea.
acting like I'm talking.
Let's continue this conversation.
Rude, she interrupted me. Rude.
I'm struggling to think of the theme of this.
I know.
Like, we don't have a theme to this.
Yeah, exactly. What else? What do you think your future plans would be? Like, what else is out there for you? Because you've already had a lot of things in life at such a young age.
I honestly have no clue. Like, I know that I need to start focusing on my personal life now.
Right.
So, and the personal life includes, like, not just friends or a partner, but also myself.
Yeah.
But I don't know what I want to do in that space. So I'm just riding along. Like, we're kind of at our peak right now at work, so I'm too busy to even think about anything else. But come July, I turn 32, and I think after I come back from my holiday, I want to start doing more stuff for myself. So
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to be, I don't know, more dancing lessons or if it's going to be fitness of some sort, or if it's going to be, I don't know, making new friends, things like that. But I really need to start focusing more on my professional side. Give work a little bit of a break. I think I've achieved enough.
Yeah. I mean,
For now.
Yeah. I think being head of operations at such a young age that's amazing. And it's nice to hear that from someone who is very work oriented to say, I want to focus on myself as well, because I feel like a lot of people are so work.
Yeah, I think last year is why I'm like this now, because I didn't have a single holiday last year. And
What?
yeah, I had 2 days off. I mean, two.
What, Friday, Saturday?
No, like 2 holiday days off.
Okay.
Wow.
But it was tough. And then at the end of this year, at the beginning of this year and end of last year, I started feeling the burnout. And I'm not as creative and I'm not as productive anymore, which is, what makes me good at my job.
Yeah.
So in January, I said, you know what? I've got 21 working days for the full year. I'm going to plan out every single day. And I planned out all of my holidays. Because I think you kind of take those breaks for granted.
Yes.
And if you don't plan it, you just don't do it. So I said, you know what? Work is always going to be hectic. But it'll happen, work's going to continue even if I'm not there.
Stop. Yeah,
exactly.
That also happened to me like a few years, maybe the last 2-3 years. I started realizing this. Like, I started getting really burnt out at my current job, and I was thinking last year I would move to Philippines. Like, just take a break, take a gap year, live life by myself on my own terms and conditions, and away from a desk. Then I met her, so I couldn't leave. But then,
my fault.
but then I realized like how important it is to have something that you do outside your current 9 to 5 at least. And you should have. I think everyone should have their own hobbies that'll keep them occupied throughout the non-working hours of the day.
Absolutely.
Because and I also realized, like what you said about leaves, I realized that every time there was a vacation, I was like, I have to be outside the country. But then I realized how important it is to do you can do so many things here in the UAE even if you're on local leave.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, so I am very much a home person. I don't like really going out. Even before COVID, I never really liked, going out. And I love cooking. I love, making, pasta from scratch, pizza from scratch. So I was always a home person. But what I realized is I need to be seeing people more often.
Right. Yeah.
Because I think the more people that you meet, the more you learn about yourself. And that's something that I missed from networking days. Like, we don't get that anymore.
That's true.
And my work circle is so small. Like, I already know everybody there.
Yeah.
I can't just see work and then just be home.
That's
so
true.
it is really important to travel. And I loved, like, every time I traveled, I learned something new about myself too, because you literally go into a completely different mindset even. You're not anymore at home in your comfort zone.
Yeah.
You're not familiar with anything around you, so it kind of resets your brain.
Very true.
Yeah.
Do you travel alone most of the time?
So I didn't before, but recently, yeah. So every year I go to Thailand.
Yes.
I love Thailand. So I'd spend 2 weeks in Thailand, half of it, or let's say 70% of the time I spend it scuba diving. And then the other 30% I spend it in like the fine dining restaurants of Bangkok. And,
wow.
Yeah.
Like McDonald's and stuff, right?
No. My kind of fine dining.
Food in Thailand though, wow.
Seriously, it's amazing.
So are you into spicy food then?
I love spicy food, but not too spicy.
Yeah.
Like, Sri Lanka, I remember when we went to Sri Lanka with my family.
Yeah.
That's the next level. Sri Lankan food is next level spicy.
And we tried to have a break from spicy food, so we went to KFC, but they don't have original.
No.
Oh yeah. In Sri Lanka they don't have because I had KFC on my last day there.
Stop.
Because I had to go fine dining in Sri Lanka. But still, it was so spicy. I couldn't finish it, and you cannot even have the skin because the skin is like mostly with all the coating of spices. You have to remove the skin and like.
Oh, I won't survive then.
Oh, you will not survive in Sri Lanka. I'm sorry.
I'm not good with spicy food. I'm trying to elevate my spicy tolerance, but it's difficult.
Yeah, it is rough, but I love it. Like especially my colleagues, I have a lot of Indian colleagues, and they make Indian food at home and bring it to work, and I'm like, oh yes, give it. I love it.
You make your own food as well, so we'll just wait for our invite for the pizza and all the other food that you
but I
make
can't
at
cook
home.
spicy food.
That's fine. That's fine.
We love it. I can't eat, like, not I can't eat, but I prefer a non-spicy food than
What do you guys
food.
cook? Do you guys cook?
Yeah, I do.
I cook a lot. She cooks more than me. I found passion in cooking as well.
Okay. What kind of food do you guys make?
A mix, Filipino, Arabic, mostly Western food. I like to cook a lot of like, I don't know, and anything from like pastas or like noodles with peanut sauce, like a Thai type of food. I cook sinigang. I know how to make sinigang, which is my favorite food.
Which fish or beef?
I cook mostly beef and pork sinigang.
Okay.
So I love sinigang. And then the rest is mostly normal, like fitnessy food, like rice and vegetables. Yeah, like the boring chicken with veg on the side.
She counts everything she puts in her food. Like, okay, this is 100 grams of broccoli.
Wow.
Yeah, she counts her food.
Yeah.
Something I don't do.
Not now, because like I stopped for a while with all like not going to the gym. I'm not like eating like proper food. I'm just taking a break. But I used to.
I have a lot of respect for you. I can't.
Yeah.
I mean, the only time that I ever tried to by the way, is this thing still on?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know if it's like 30 minutes ago.
Yeah. We're good. I can see it from here. Yeah.
Okay. The only time that I guess tried to count what I eat is when I did personal training for 6 weeks.
Wow.
But I needed to eat a lot.
Right.
So that's the only reason that I would count. But I don't know how to, even that was really hard.
Right.
Because it's not like it was a large amount of food. Like I had to eat half a kilo of beef or chicken or fish every meal.
Because you need your protein sources.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it was not easy. So I don't enjoy the counting, but it takes a lot of dedication to do that.
Yeah, and sometimes it messes up with your whole like just every day. Instead of you just eating when you're hungry, you're just like, wait, is that 100 calories of this? Is like my protein enough? Is this enough? And sometimes you just want to eat.
You know when she would have chips, she would literally put on a bowl on top of the weighing scale to see, okay, so I can have 5 pieces of chips. For me, I'll just put my hand in the bag and but she was like really dedicated to that when we met.
Yeah, no, I have to do that because I like obsess with food a lot, and I just sometimes go out of whack and just eat anything.
Oh wow.
So in order for me to
discipline
myself, I have to, or else I'll just binge. I have a tendency to binge, and sometimes I just stop because my tummy hurts so much already of like eating food. So I have to. That's like my way of like just stopping and counting and being more mindful of what I'm eating. Yeah.
I need to be more mindful just because I eat a lot of bad food.
Yeah.
So just for general health purposes. But I found something really weird about myself. So I would get random cravings. Like, I would crave like quail eggs one day.
Wow. Like boiled quail eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I would crave, I don't know, tualia. You know what's tualia?
Yes.
Tripe.
Yeah, tripe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Or I would crave, I don't know, things like orange juice, whatever.
Yeah.
But every time I crave something, when I look up the health benefits, I realize, oh my God, my body's trying to tell me what I need.
Right.
So I've only figured out that I had this ability recently.
Yeah.
And I've been listening to every weird craving, I listen to it.
Yeah.
And
to what your body says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I go to the doctor now and I check out my blood every 6 months or every few months, it's great. I don't even have a vitamin D deficiency. That's
so good that you do that. I think a lot of people forget that you actually have to go to the doctors even if you don't feel anything.
Yeah.
Like just a regular checkup. Because most of the time people are like, I'm not feeling well, I'll go to the doctor. But then it's better to have the prevention and go to the doctor every 6 months.
Just for general checkup,
yeah. You're like always in the doctors.
Because my best friend is a doctor, so I'm kidding.
Yeah, he has a lot of like health reasons to go to
not
the doctor.
Not a lot recently, but ever since I met Janine, that's when everything started coming out. So that's when I started visiting the doctor a lot.
Really now? Okay.
But I think we'll end at one last question because our
mute.
Is it still on? I don't know if you pressed.
No, you're still on.
No, because in our last episode 37, we got a question from one of our guests. Not guests, listeners.
Yes.
And they asked us, where do we see ourselves, like, when we retire? Like, where's actually home for us? Is it Philippines? Is it India? Is it Lebanon? Is it going to be Egypt for you? Or are you going to plan on staying in UAE your whole life? So the real question was, like, where do you see yourself, or what is home to you?
Home to me right now is the UAE, of course. I mean, that's all I know. But where do I see myself later? I have no clue. Like, I can't imagine myself anywhere else, because the UAE is kind of, I don't know, you get spoiled when you live here too long.
So true.
You're so safe here. You don't even think twice about, especially for women, you don't think twice about, being on the street at 4 a.m. You don't think twice about, leaving your phone on a table in a food court. It's so, these small things I think you kind of take for granted when you've grown up here, but when you travel and you see that, no, you need to hold your bag right next to you and you need to be looking front, center, back, it's too much. So I don't know actually if I could live anywhere else. So if any Emiratis are listening to this, please give me the passport.
You get that golden visa.
The golden visa.
Yeah.
You have a good candidate here, guys.
So I'm here for the foreseeable future.
Right.
But if I did have to choose somewhere, I haven't traveled enough yet to know exactly what kind of place that I would want, but I would definitely want to be on an island. I'm the happiest when I'm in a tropical island as well. So I wanna smell the trees, I wanna smell the sea, I wanna be able to, eat from the land.
Right.
So I would love to be more in a natural place.
Yeah.
Because that's what's missing here, I think, the UAE.
Yeah.
Something real, some nature, instead of everything being artificial.
Well, the desert is nature, right?
Yeah.
But it's just
but
not
it's
the
like
kind
barren land. It's not like, it's not leafy green. But I understand what you mean as well. It's also like putting your feet on the concrete, on the sand, and
that's
everything makes a lot of difference.
Like, nature is not all about only green,
yes.
but like the desert as well.
Yeah, the desert as well.
Yeah, that's true. And
but
the Rocky
the plan that they announced, did you see the urban plan for the UAE?
No.
So the Sheikh announced it, and it is gorgeous.
Wow.
It's so green, and it looks like Central Park. Look it up.
No, don't tell that to Janine. Her dream is to actually move to New York. That's where she sees
Really?
herself.
Yeah.
I didn't like New York.
Yeah, I loved it so much.
I could
like, it's
not.
how I envisioned it in my head. Ever since I was young, it was like either Paris or New York, because that's what you see on TV, right?
Yeah.
Paris, New York.
I didn't like either.
Yeah.
We're so different.
Paris, not so much. I didn't like it. Like, I loved the view. I loved everything, but it's just the people. I couldn't. Like, they're quite, like, rude. They're very straightforward.
In Paris.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I went to New York, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I love it here. I love the filth. I love the
I cannot.
The diversity. But his family, well, some of his family lives there. And I'm like, let's just move there. He's like,
they always say, come to New York, Josh, come. I'm like, I'd rather go to Manila. My heart is in the Philippines.
Yeah, actually, I'd rather be in Manila than New York. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't do.
No.
So I'm going with Sarah. So
yeah. You know why I don't like it in Manila? Because not that I don't like it, I don't see myself living there. Because I lived in the Philippines, so I've been there.
Yeah, okay.
That's what I always tell Josh. I'm like, you haven't been there or lived there, so you wouldn't really know. And then he says, like, but you haven't lived in New York. I'm like, good point. That's true.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think it's a topic for a longer discussion that we should have. Like, where do we see ourselves in the future? But we did a full podcast on that in our last episode.
Yeah.
And we didn't even settle on anything at the end, did we?
No. We just like, we don't know.
We just talked about it and we never settled.
Maybe we're like more on Philippines for
Yeah.
sure, but not like India or Lebanon, because we didn't see ourselves going there anytime soon. But of course, not UAE as well. Yeah. I mean, for the next couple of years, yes, UAE, but definitely not staying here longer than a couple more years, I would say. Yeah.
I don't know. With all the things that they're doing now, honestly, I think it could be a place. But I don't, like, every few months I need to get out of the UAE. I need to get to something that is more green and leafy, that kind of nature. So I do see myself staying here as long as I get that, time to go somewhere else. Like, I'd love to try being a digital nomad for a few months.
Oh,
would love that.
I read so many books about that and trying to be a digital nomad, but I don't have any skills. That's something else.
Or you can create your own skills. Like, you can learn new skills.
Well, if you're remote, I mean, now that everyone's tried remote working,
Yeah.
I think in some industries you can get away with it
Yeah.
if your company would allow you to.
That's true.
So I would like to do that. So
Yeah. Hopefully one day we're all a digital nomad.
Yeah, no, this podcast will be
somewhere.
like I'm in Philippines, Janine's in New York, and something.
and I'm in Thailand.
Exactly. Scuba diving and all that.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you would like to share to our listeners, or like say hi
Any closing
to anyone, your parents,
comments?
any closing comments?
I don't know. This podcast has been like, we've spoken about everything.
Yeah.
This is our longest podcast ever, but it was so
Yeah,
good. I didn't
we
feel
love
like it
it.
was more than an hour.
Yeah.
know.
And we didn't even like have to, stay on script or things like
Yeah.
that. It was just natural.
Just
Yeah.
doing that.
I liked it.
I
But
like
almost
it.
1:30, so we have 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So
I
let's,
don't know. It was just like, honestly, thank you guys for doing this.
No, thank you
I'm
for coming, really.
Yeah,
you.
it's been really refreshing.
Yeah.
And I love the happy news in the beginning and all of this stuff, and I don't know, it's just so easy.
Thank you.
So,
And we'll
yeah.
have you again,
for sure, yeah. I think this was more of an introduction. Then if we have like certain topics that we want to talk about, then we can even bring you in as well.
So I have something for your future guests that I will say.
Yes.
Okay, so future guests. He makes good coffee. Okay, he makes really good coffee.
His dream is to be a barista or own a coffee shop.
Yeah, that
one
is
day.
my end goal.
And she makes it super easy to be yourself. Wait, where am I looking? I need to look
Yeah,
at the camera.
Really? Are you on TikTok? You're looking at the screen?
I just said something good about you.
Oh, shut up.
Take it back.
But yeah, no, it's super cool. So if you're gonna be a guest here, do it. Don't be scared about it. They'll ease you in. And there is one thing though. They promised snacks and they didn't give snacks.
Oh,
no,
we
no,
have
no.
your snacks later. Yeah.
We didn't
yeah.
want to feed you before because you
Yes.
might get too
Why?
hyperactive.
I'm hungry now.
We'll give it to her later.
We have a lot of snacks, don't we?
We do.
But yeah, demand food.
Yeah. We got you guys for our future guests.
That's the only way we can pay you. Anyway.
Yes, for now. Thank you so much for being here.
No, it was a
Our
pleasure.
first
Thank
guest,
you so
guys.
much, really.
Woohoo.
That went really well.
It went really smooth,
Yeah.
smoother than I expected. I thought we had to like open you up a little bit in
No.
the sense of you speaking. No, not like slicing your stomach.
That was the plan.
no, but it was really comfortable as well.
Yes.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it was awesome. You guys are great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
so
Thank you so much.
Want to close it off?
Yeah, so thank you guys for joining us once again for another episode of the Half a Nice Day podcast. And please do subscribe to us on YouTube at youtube.com/halfanniceday. And please do subscribe and hit that like button and turn that notification bell on so you can get quality content like this. And please do find us on Instagram at Half a Nice Day podcast. And you can also send us your emails, questions, suggestions, feedback that you have at halfannicedayShow@gmail.com. And also send in your questions. Maybe when we have the next guest, when we have you again, we can ask our listeners if they have any questions for you, then we can answer on the podcast.
Exactly.
And yeah, please do share this podcast with your friends. Tell your friend to tell a friend about the show. And
if you have any guest nominations for us,
Oh, yeah, you can
any
let us know,
Halfie or
yeah.
anyone else, just let us know and we'll have
we'll
them
try
here.
to contact them, slide into the DM as we did Sarah. And
Right?
we got her here.
Exactly.
And anything else? And please do give a good rating on this podcast. We
Yes.
really need it.
Apple Podcast and everywhere
I
else.
beg you.
We beg you.
Yeah, but
So we have to teach Sarah how to close the.
Oh dear.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we say like either one of us. So since I'm closing today, I say on that note, and then you have to go have a nice day,
But like we go really high.
really high.
So
Okay, can I hear
You
the
sing.
actual version?
okay,
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
On that note, have a nice day. Okay.
Okay.
It's really high pitched.
You can
We
be a
got
bass
this.
if you want or something.
You can be
try to
any
harmonize.
one. Yes. So
On that note,
have a nice day. We
Very
love
good.
you guys.
we like you as a friend. Bye.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you,
Thank
Sarah.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Wow.
I love